the city where dreams are born, and just as often where they die. Ethan Miller woke every morning to the chaos of the streets, honking cars, blaring sirens, and the roar of the subway beneath his feet. It was February, freezing cold, and he dressed in worn layers, trying to keep the biting wind from seeping into his bones. At 34, his hands were calloused, his skin scarred from years of labor, and his heart heavy with exhaustion and a faint, flickering hope. Ethan hadn't always been like this. He grew up in Ohio, an only child of a factory worker and a school teacher. From a young age, he learned the value of hard work. By 12, he was helping with neighbors' construction projects, carrying bricks, learning measurements, absorbing every lesson his father offered. It's not what you have, Ethan. It's what you do with it. When his father passed suddenly from a heart attack, Ethan promised himself, "I will make something of my life. I will prove I can overcome anything." New York seemed like the perfect place to prove it. With a single suitcase and a few dollars, he left Ohio, ready to embrace the city that never sleeps. The first months were brutal, job hunting, navigating the subway, finding a place to sleep. But he held on to the belief that effort and honesty would eventually pay off. The dream. Years passed. Ethan worked long hours in construction, saving every dollar, dreaming of starting his own renovation company. Every wall he built, every floor he poured, felt like a step toward that dream. The accident. Then it happened. A freezing February morning. The scaffold he was working on was slick with ice. One misstep, a single moment, and he fell. Darkness swallowed him. When he awoke in the hospital, his right leg was in a full cast. Months of recovery stretched ahead. The company he worked for replaced him within a week. Medical bills arrived faster than the painkillers. His savings vanished. His girlfriend left, unable to handle the strain. His apartment, his car, and most of his hope were gone. By spring, Ethan was sleeping in a queen shelter, staring at the cracked ceiling, questioning how everything had gone so wrong. Invisibility. The city that once promised opportunity now ignored him. Suited commuters sipped lattes, scrolling on their phones, oblivious to the man who had built the buildings they worked in, now sitting quietly near the subway asking for help. He felt like a ghost. The encounter with Harold. But one night something changed. Sitting on a bench outside the shelter, Ethan noticed an elderly man approaching. Gray beard, worn jacket, eyes sharp as glass. Harold sat beside him. "Son," the man said, "the world doesn't owe you anything, but it's willing to give you everything, if you don't quit before it does." The words hit Ethan like a hammer. For the first time in months, something stirred inside him. Anger, hunger, a spark of determination. He realized, "I am not done yet." The first step. The next morning, Ethan made a decision. He would change something. Anything. Using an old crutch, he limped to the public library. Among the dusty shelves and students, he found a quiet corner and began reading about small business recovery programs and vocational training. Most of it was confusing, filled with jargon. But then a flyer caught his eye. City-funded vocational training for unemployed workers. Without hesitation, he signed up. The course. The program was far from glamorous. The classroom was crowded, underfunded, and full of people carrying their own broken stories. Mothers, veterans, young adults. For Ethan, it was a spark. He learned to read blueprints, manage safety and budget projects. Piece by piece, he began rebuilding himself. He woke earlier, stopped drinking, and saved the few dollars he earned cleaning the training facility. Pain and perseverance. Recovery was slow. His leg hurt constantly. Walking often felt like dragging a concrete block. Yet Ethan persisted. Harold visited occasionally, offering advice, encouragement, and stories of his own struggles. First real opportunity. One afternoon, Harold handed him a business card. "My friend runs a small contracting firm in Brooklyn," Harold said. "They need someone who knows the job and won't quit." Ethan applied. The interview was intense but straightforward. Carla, the company owner, was sharp, observant, and fair. A week later, he got the job. Hard work pays off. The pay was modest, 18-hour, part-time, but it was honest, solid work. Ethan threw himself into every task, learning quickly, staying late, solving problems others ignored. Carla noticed his determination. 6 months later, she called him in. "Ethan, I've been watching you. You've got grit. I started this company with nothing but a toolbox and a dream. You remind me of me." Ethan walked home in the rain, tears mixing with the drops on his face. For the first time in years, he felt whole. Side projects and reputation. He took small renovation jobs on the side, built a basic website, and word spread. Clients trusted him. His attention to detail, honesty, and calm under pressure earned him repeat business. The final test. Then came another challenge. One night, while working at a client's apartment, his injured leg gave way. He fell, reopening the wound. Surgery and months of recovery were required. Lying in the hospital, old despair returned. But then a message from Carla appeared. "The team pitched in. Your bills are covered. You've done more than you realize. Get better. We need you." Ethan cried, not from pain, but from gratitude. For the first time, he felt supported, valued, and capable of rising again. Recovery and reflection. Ethan's recovery was grueling. 3 months of physical therapy, countless hours relearning how to walk, and the ever-present ache in his leg reminded him daily of the fragility of life. But this time, he didn't dwell in despair. Every small step forward became a victory. He kept a journal, writing down not only his struggles, but also the lessons, the moments of courage, and the tiniest wins that had once seemed inconsequential. He called it Blueprint for Hope. The blog started small. A handful of readers trickled in. A few coworkers, a neighbor, a fellow student from the training program. But then one post titled "The Day I Realized I Was Still Worth Something" began to circulate. Workers, veterans, and people struggling with life challenges shared it across social media. Messages of gratitude and encouragement poured in. Ethan realized his story wasn't just his. It resonated with countless others who had felt invisible, broken, or forgotten. Recognition and opportunity. Local newspapers caught wind of his story. Radio stations invited him to speak. And one morning the phone rang again. Carla was on the line. "Ethan," she said, voice steady but warm, "I want you to lead a mentorship program. Young workers who've hit rock bottom, people starting over. They need guidance. Will you do it?" Ethan didn't hesitate. "Absolutely," he replied. Mentorship and impact. Months later, Ethan stood on a construction site, not as a laborer but as a mentor. He trained young men and women who had lost jobs, homes, or hope. Some were veterans struggling with reintegration. Others had faced addiction, homelessness, or personal tragedy. All shared the same need, someone who believed in them first. He taught them more than construction skills. He taught patience, perseverance, and dignity. Every lesson came from his own scars, both visible and invisible. The emotional reward. One afternoon, a young apprentice named Luis approached him. Luis had been living in his car for months, skeptical of anyone offering help. "Mr. Miller, I think I can actually do this now." "Thank you," Luis said, voice trembling. Ethan smiled, remembering his own days of despair. He placed a hand on Luis's shoulder. "You've always had it in you. You just needed to see it for yourself." Reflections at the skyline. Standing atop a newly completed building, Ethan gazed at the Manhattan skyline. The city that had once ignored him now stood before him in all its grandeur. He remembered Harold's words from years ago. "The world doesn't owe you anything, but it gives everything to those who refuse to quit." Ethan finally understood. The skyline wasn't just glass and steel, it was a testament to resilience, grit, and the power of human determination. The subtle triumphs. He never became a billionaire. He didn't need to. His real wealth was in the lives he touched, the trust he built, and the purpose he had rediscovered. Each apprentice who graduated from his program, each family whose home he helped repair, each reader inspired by his blog, that was success beyond any financial measure. Continued growth. Ethan expanded the mentorship program, partnering with local nonprofits, training centers, and community leaders. He spoke at conferences, encouraging people to persevere. Every lecture, every article, every success story of those he helped was a reinforcement of his own journey, from the despair of a hospital bed and city shelter to standing as a beacon for others. The lesson: Ethan's journey became a living example of the human capacity to recover, rebuild, and rise above circumstances. He had fallen, struggled, and risen, not through luck, but through relentless effort, humility, and the support of those willing to believe in him. Closing scene. On a quiet evening, Ethan walked the streets of Queens, the city lights reflecting off wet asphalt. He paused, looking at the construction sites, the high-rises, and the faces of people hustling for their dreams. He smiled, feeling the breeze against his face. For the first time in his life, he felt truly whole. Broken pieces had been rebuilt, stronger and more beautiful than before. He had turned adversity into opportunity, darkness into light. If Ethan's story moved you, share this video to inspire someone today. Follow our channel for more real stories of resilience and hope, and comment below. Which part of Ethan's journey touched your heart the most?